Well, the FLW is great. The FLW came along several years ago, and they really upgraded bass. My good friend Erwin Jacobs, that owns FLW, has infused a lot of money, has infused a lot of excitement, has infused quite a few new sponsors and sponsors that are really outside of the fishing industry. One of the things that has happened for years in this business is people like like Ranger Boat Company and Mercury Motors and Evinrude and Minn Kota and Humminbird and all these people. They really kind of paid the bill for all the tournaments, and Erwin came along and really started bringing some of the outside people in. And I look over and I see Bounty, the quicker picker-upper, it says on a boat over there. You see Land of Lakes, you see Folgers Coffee here, Act 3 popcorn, and really with about 100 million fishermen in the country, we use all that stuff every day, and Erwin's been able to get those kind of people involved in the game, and of course with ESPN buying Bass, they have done the exact same thing now, and got a lot of the people outside of just the base fishing companies involved in the game, and it's brought the prize money up a lot. And you see all the teams here at an FLW tournament. I've fished for the Chevy team, and I actually fished for the Chevy team for many years over in BASS, and I think it's just upgraded the sport in a big way. It's a good tournament tour, the FLW series. Most of these guys on the tour also fish the series. I don't fish the series, but I may fish maybe one or two of those series tournaments. But it's a great schedule. At the end of the year, the guys that qualify for the championship have an opportunity to fish for an enormous amount of money. And the good thing is that guys are making a living fishing. When I started fishing bass tournaments, and I fished my first tournament when I was a senior in college back in 1966, there wasn't any such thing as professional fishermen. Most of these guys that are here do nothing else. They simply fish professionally. Most of them are making good six-figure incomes. A handful of guys in this game are making a seven-figure income, and most of them don't have any other job. I'm kind of, ironically, I started back in '66. There was no such thing as professional fishermen, and I'm probably one of the few guys on the professional tour that actually have a job. I mean, other than fishing. I'm not, because fishing is a big job, but we've got, of course, we produce 50 television shows a year, and I've got a couple of boat dealerships, own a travel agency, and I've got a full-time job in addition to coming and playing at the tournaments occasionally. But that's very unusual in this day and time on this high level. Because most of these guys, that's what they do. That's fish. They fish for a living. And I think it's great because there's many young kids that are running around here at the FLW tournament that they can aspire to be a professional fisherman. And that's just as good as aspiring to be a doctor or a CEO or have an MBA and run a business or a lawyer. But it's probably better than aspiring to be a lawyer, because Lord knows we don't need any more lawyers. We need less. I'll probably get sued for saying that. Well, it is, without a doubt. It's great to start out as a co-angler, and if there are, we have basically what I call professional co-anglers in FLW and BASS, guys that fish every tournament they have throughout the year, and certainly they have a lot of those in FLW. That's what they do. The guy that I fished with the second day of the tournament yesterday, he fishes all the tournaments. He's entered 13 tournaments this year on the co-angler side, and that's a $700 entry fee, which is basically a lot like the entry fees we were paying on the pro level a few years back. So that is a professional level. They are simply competing against the other co-anglers as opposed to competing against the big-time pros. So, but those guys are very good. As a matter of fact, I think the largest fish caught in this tournament was caught by a co-angler.
That's right,
over 7 pounds. And the first day of the tournament, Clark Winlet leading with 17 pounds, a co-angler leading with 13 pounds, which that 13 pounds would have placed him in second place in the pro division. So those are very good fishermen. They're not amateurs like they used to call them. They're not no-boaters like they used to call them. They're simply co-anglers. And many of them come and practice 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 days, just like the pros do. And a lot of them are very instrumental in how many fish are caught in that boat at the end of the day. In FLW, you are allowed to fish in places where your co-angler knows about. You're allowed to get help from him or let him tell you what kind of lures he's catching them on. In bass, you're not allowed to do that. It's all the pros that's making all the decisions. So the co-anglers in FLW are really professional co-anglers. They're fishing on a professional level themselves. Now, most of those guys do have another job, but some of them don't. The guy that I fished with the second day basically has taken a leave of absence from his job until June. He's going to fish 13 co-angler tournaments between now and June, and so it's really created more opportunities for guys to get in the game. And young kids that are in high school and thinking about becoming a professional fisherman, I'd recommend they all go to college. Most of the really top-line professional fishermen that have come down through the rank, the top level now, do have college degrees. A lot of the younger guys don't nowadays because they're able to go in there and make some money, fishing right off the bat as opposed to going to college. But I think it's very advantageous for somebody aspiring to play this sport to get a college degree. I've got a degree in economics and one in political science. I think business administration degrees are good. Certainly wouldn't even hurt to have an MBA and play in this game because it's a marketing game, and FLW is they're calling the FLW fishermen the NASCAR of bass fishing, and I think that's probably true.